down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Bam, who's down with OTC on a Saturday night? On a Saturday night.
Yeah,
Bro, we are here. Jeff, this isn't our usual night. What are we doing? Why are we here?
I thought today was Sunday.
I'm gonna blame it on Alex because Alex pings me and he's like, "Hey man, we need to go live," and I'm like, "Yeah, let me see if Jeff's into it." And Jeff's like, "Dude, let's go live!" And that's, that was it.
Let's do it.
That was all it took. It's a good call, Alex. I mean, for sure, man.
Fire it up. We're gonna talk about Bitcoin tonight.
Yeah, so it's a Bitcoin night.
Yeah, definitely. All Bitcoin.
All
the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Bitcoin and gold.
Going live.
Oh yeah, I like gold.
Yeah, I like gold too.
Digital gold.
Digital gold, that is. All right. Alrighty, man. So, all right, well, let's get the show on the road. Everybody ready to do this one?
Do this. Yeah, what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about the market. How about that? You want to talk about some XRP?
Talk about some XRP, man. It's up, well, it was up 70%, so it's fluctuating right now, but let's do that right now, everybody. Guys, we'll see you in a little bit as we go ahead and we do this. Boom!
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
Man, you know what's so great about our intro? We have 3 minutes of timer countdown and like 3 minutes of intro.
Man, you know what's so great about our intro?
Uh-oh.
We have
somebody's feeding back.
3 minutes of timer countdown and like 3 minutes
of back.
That's
that's awesome.
You're feeding back?
The feedback.
You know what's even better? Jeff saying it twice. That's even better.
That was even better. I like that.
That was even better.
I got to hear myself say it. That was pretty cool.
I don't
Yeah,
know
let's-
what it is, but it's magic.
Yeah, there you go. I can't be
Yeah.
100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's magic. By the
Pretty
way,
sure
I
it was
used that
magic.
line on my wife. She goes, I bought this. There's this holiday. I'm going to sidetrack us right away, but I bought this holiday
Okay,
eggnog.
TMI.
It's made from well, that too, but it's made from almond milk. And she goes, by the way, what's in that? I go, I can't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's magic. So it
What
works with
is
almost
up, Leo? All the way from Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah, Brazil.
Yeah,
That's where my son-in-law is from, by the way, guys. Just to let you know, my son-in-law is from Brazil, Sao
Brazil.
Paulo.
We got people tuning in here
Coolest guy
that
ever, man.
Twitter platform.
That Twitter,
Got a
I
lot
like
of people
Twitter.
in here. Twitter's
Twitter's
kind of
good,
cool.
man. By the way, guys, go ahead and retweet it. I tagged both you guys in there. Let's retweet this. Let's get some peeps in here. Let's talk some market here today.
All
I want
right,
you guys to talk about that, man. Let's get it going.
do
Let's
it.
get it going. Let me go ahead and do a retweet
California jumping in here. That's awesome. We got California and Brazil covering the planet.
Yeah, that's from Florida all the way over to the West Coast.
And we're getting a lot of people bouncing in over there on the Twitter platform. So that's pretty
On
cool.
the Twitters.
On the Twitter. Awesome.
By the
So,
way,
hey, so what is good? Man, Alex, this has been, I don't know, it's been like years. I don't even know what to say. It's a little bit of excitement. Everyone's going crazy. It's been at least since like what, 2019.
Nah, I mean, so this right here, what's going on today is amazing. Just as man, like this is what we've been waiting for. I've been waiting for 3 years. Well, January of 18 for days like this. And what's crazy is that it all started in November of 17 for me.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Starting again in November of 20 for me. So if history repeats itself, we're about to have a very good, holiday season, man. It's about to be a good end of year and a great start to 2021.
look at that right there. $1 in a week. We got TD73's calling it right there in a week.
That's right, man. It couldn't have been anybody else. It wasn't that name right there, like a TD, T73.
Well, I'm going to call it by the end of the
T73 in the
stream.
know.
So we may have to, Alex, you may have to stay up 2 more days. If I call it by the end of the stream, we may have to do a 27-hour stream. You never know. It could go longer. But I'll be right. I'll be like, I told you I was right. I'll put toothpicks in my eyes, but I was right.
Yeah.
You know
Let's
what I mean?
do a marathon, man.
There we
let's
go.
Ahead. What up, Wrench Bro? That's Wen Mullet right there. It's my boy Wen
Mullet.
Yeah,
When Mullet's always here to keep us on track.
Wrench Bro.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. All right. So 2017. 2017 was exciting. That was right around the time I got in as well. It was like that October time frame. Spent a couple months kind of researching, trying to figure things out. Started making the first moves in October, and that's when everything kind of went a little bit parabolic back in 17 into 2018. And then it's been, now it's just been a ride ever since. Obviously, we all know what we've experienced, but it's amazing. It's really been unreal, right? So here we've got Bitcoin. Here's the big question. Let's throw it out there. Say we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin pulling the market?
I don't think so. Well,
I think it's yes, of course, Bitcoin is pulling the market. It's the name that's known by the masses, right? It's the name that's being talked about on CNBC and all the big traders talking about Bitcoin. So that's bringing the attention to the space. But when the people actually get to see and learn about the different cryptocurrencies, then that's why we see all the tides seem to be rising as people, tend to pick a coin that they like and invest into that. So, yeah, it's the name, it's the household name, right? It's the one that everybody knows, but I love it. I love to see it. So let them keep doing it, man.
yeah, I like it too. And this is one of the reasons why everybody should really be thankful for Bitcoin. Jeff and I were talking about this earlier, and really, if you think about it, everyone's like Bitcoin this, Bitcoin whatever. I go, if Bitcoin isn't successful, do we have an altcoin market? Do we have any other coins? Do we have use cases? Probably not. there had to be the first one, and thank God that you know, Bitcoin was successful. You know, I mean, some anonymous, you know, puts person, or who knows, entity or group puts out a little white paper, name themselves Satoshi Nakamoto, and the next thing you know, it's a little known thing. People are mining this stuff, and they're building mines. And I got into this in 2012. First time I heard about it, 2013, using it to move across there. And I was pretty sad because, you know, buying it at 280, something like that. And then you 4x your money on that. You're thinking, I am crushing it, man. But then it goes to 20,000. You think, like, that might have been the dumbest thing I ever did. But then you realize, but then you catch yourself and you go like, well, look, there's never been, you don't compare it to anything. It's a new asset class that didn't exist, you know, so you can't really get too crazy about it. It's always easy to look back in 2020. See what I did there, boys? 2020. We're in 2020. 2020.
Oh, yeah, we are in 2020. Oh, nice.
Right?
Good job.
Man, I am a cheese ball tonight, man. I'm going off on the cheese tonight. Whoa. So it's good to see some people in here. I just saw a funny something. It's so funny when you miss these things on the live stream here. Alex, you see the comments on your side there floating up the screen, or you have to?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. Here we go, right here. This is a good one. Here's Leo right here. Let's put that one up. Oh, there we go. Leo says, hey, Bitcoin brought us all where we are right now. I don't have BTC right now, but I love seeing BTC going up. And I think that's a great attitude to have. I mean, if you think about it, it's like we all like seeing it go up. And, you know, it's going to blow past 20,000. I mean, when it went to 20,000 the first time, you remember the FOMO that was going on? You remember, you know, CNBC and all those networks were like, this thing called Bitcoin, what is it? Nobody knows. It's like when you watch the Today Show back in like 1995, and they're talking about the internet. It's this thing called the internet, and it was that same kind of weird stuff. They're like, is it a real coin? No, it's a digital coin. It's a representation, and it's like, look where we are 3 years later. I mean, you remember what it was like buying 3 years ago? I mean, in 3 years, there's so many exchanges you can buy this on, you know, all kinds of crypto. There's new projects coming out all the time, but back 3 years ago, it wasn't that easy to buy. Not like it is today. You know, so much has changed, and I think that's really added to it. I mean, what do you think, Jeff and Alex? I mean, as far as where we are 3 years later from the last run. Don't speak at once.
Sorry about that. Texting my wife real quick. I think we're at a point where I just kicked my table real quick.
Yeah, you don't need any light.
Jesus. I think we're compared to 2020 is think about the amount of people that have joined Coinbase. Think about the amount of people that have opened accounts on Uphold. Think about the amount of people who are just buying now just to buy it. And then just think about the people that have done the research now. So compared to 17, I think we're this market cap should grow by 10x. Just with the amount of people around, you know, just the knowledge that people have had 3 years, like myself, like you guys, you know, like Sergeant Obi-Wan, who's in the chat, and I wish you well, brother. You just got out of the hospital after being there for a week, and
oh, jeez, man, didn't know that.
You know, yeah.
I hope you're doing well.
Hope you're doing well too, man.
So, but yeah, man, where we're at now compared to 17, I think we're gonna blow past the previous all-time high for a lot of coins, and I think we're gonna set the new standard. All the way around with market cap and you know, coins, and you know, I do think some of these coins are going to disappear. There's like what, 8,000 now. When I started, it was 1,800, 2,000. So a lot of those disappear, and then you know, what's going to be left to, you know, the true warriors.
That's a good you know, point. I want to say what's up to Sean Thompson bouncing in over here, and Sergeant Obi-Wan was talking about when he started 1656, like you said, 1800. I remember also scrolling through the coin market cap and seeing 1800 or whatever the number was, and who knows? I mean, there were so many in there, but we know that the majority of them are going to disappear because they have zero utility, zero purpose, and that's it. It's going to be pretty quick. That they're just going to start dwindling off, and they're going to be replaced by others. But they have, what'd you say the number was? There's 6,000 now?
7,000.
7,000?
Something like that, yeah.
That's crazy. You know, I mean, it's insane. You know, but you pull up the coin market cap. My theory is always, you know, stick to the top 10. But now, as we look into the top 20, there's some projects here that have held out. You know,
Right
some of
on.
them I'm shocked about. You know, I'm really shocked. You know, to see Tron, for instance. You know, that it's still holding strong. I mean, check this out, right? We pull it
17.
up. And look at where, you know, we've got some Tron in here, you know. So what's up with that? You know, Tron sitting here at 0.02. And Tron had FOMO'd way up, you know, but it's still holding in there. It's in the 17th place. But we're, you know, Chip and I were going through some of these earlier. There's a lot of new ones that are joining in, obviously based on market cap. But even like IOTA, you know, that one, that was up to like $4 in its heyday. I remember bailing on it at 4, and now it's down to like 30 cents, you know, as it's reclaiming. You get this Urine.finance. We've talked about the DeFi space. What do you think? What do you guys think the impact of this DeFi space is on, let's say, the tried and true, let's call them? You know, you have XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Those three are really going crazy. But now you've got this whole DeFi space.
So, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the DeFi. I mean, I think 2020 really was a pretty good year for. I think DeFi. I think DeFi got a lot of high profile stuff. I think a lot of stuff, you know, related to the DeFi space. But you know, I think too that, you know, some of the projects out there sort of gave the space a bad name. But it's the same thing when you had, you know, when you were like, you know, releasing coins like crazy, you know, in 2017. You know, I just don't know if this DeFi space, I think it's going to change a little bit. I like it. I mean, the yield farming, all this other stuff is kind of hard to get your head wrapped around. There's a lot of risk involved with it. But look, if you can connect with some stuff, man, you can make a lot of money in it. I mean, I've seen some people do very well, but then we don't hear so much about the people that lost their, you know what, their ass in it, you know. You don't hear about them. It's just like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. You know, how much did you lose? You know, look at the time. My God, look, jeez. You know, you know those people that's like, so I don't know, man. I mean, DeFi is pretty cool, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on DeFi?
I still don't understand it 100%.
It's crazy, right?
To speak effectively, like to speak on it, I don't understand it 100%. It may have a purpose. It may have a time and place somewhere, but I don't understand the entire space. But it's good that we're expanding, and it's good that you know the crypto space is growing to other verticals. So yeah, man, it's bringing money and attention to the space, so it's good for now.
Yeah, it's crazy money too. You know, so I mean, then you have the yield farming. I told Chip, I said, I got to figure out this yield farming. So I finally decided to put some money into it and figure it out. I don't know. It's going to be a week, so we'll see what happens at the end of this week. Little nerve wracking, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up there, Chip. I think that is a gate. This is something that didn't exist before. You want to pull that back up there? Celsius. I talked about Celsius a little bit this morning. You know, I talked about the Cell token, but overall, one of the things that was missing back in 2017 and really for an extended period of time was a mechanism to really do more with the digital asset outside of just holding, you know, just hodling it. So we could hodl it, you put it on a ledger, you keep it on an exchange. Everyone's really cautious and pessimistic about holding on an exchange, you know, even if it's like a Coinbase or an Uphold or a Gemini or, you know, what have you, people still say, you know, if it's not your keys, you know, it's not your crypto, you know, you're not holding it. But Celsius really started changing the game with everything, right? So now all of a sudden you can hold your digital asset and get interest on it, you know.
That's
and
cool, man.
I tested that out. I started about a month ago with Celsius. You know, even though we had interviewed Alex Mashinsky, it's been months, you know, but it took me a little while to take the plunge and try it out, you know. And so, but it earning interest on it while it's going up, and you're getting paid back in the asset. So if you're holding Bitcoin, you're getting paid for your first 5 Bitcoin, you're getting 6% annually annual return on your Bitcoin that you're holding, and then it's after 5 Bitcoins like 4% or something like that. But you're getting paid back in Bitcoin. I mean, that's not bad, for just holding it there.
But Jeff, where that's going to come in real handy is like, we see a moon, right? We see some parabolic action and we blow past 10, 15, 20, 100, whatever. You're just going to want to keep it over there, never touch your stack, and then you're going to be able to, derive an income from it. And that was really one of the things that Alex Mashinsky talked a lot about when we had him on. And again, when Alex is such a brilliant guy that sometimes like I had to play that back in my head and go watch it again because he says a lot of stuff, but you really got to listen what he's saying. And one of the things that Jeff and I reached out, well, somebody on our stream said, hey, when is Celsius going to come out with a credit card? And Alex, emailed us back. It's just weird. You can email the guy and he emails you right back. Jeff, he got back to you in like 5-10 minutes and he goes, listen, that's not what Celsius is. That's not what we're building. We're HODL. We're about holding long-term. We're about building wealth. We're about, keeping your money and then figuring out a way like your crypto and then you get paid off it so that at one point you can just derive an income. Your expenses are so low anyway, you can just live off it and have a great life. You own your house, your cars, your boats, whatever it is. It's like, okay, well then you got your taxes, you got your utilities, you got your travel, you got your hangout time, you got your cigars, you got your fine whiskeys, you got your, 100-year-old whiskey that was dug out of Iceland a couple years ago. You might want to FOMO into and buy it for like a 1.2 million. I don't know.
Oh, I need one of those.
By the way, this is kind of an adjunct thing. And I'm just going to say it because it's kind of weird, but the other day, 2 offices down from my office, there was a big protest going on. I was like, what the hell's going on over there? Well, it turns out that was the Smartmatic office. And I was wondering why the logo looks so damn familiar because I pass it every day on my way to my office. Even though I don't go there any day, so it's like a big thing going on over there anyway. I thought I'd just mention that. That's one of those.
Good thing I'm not there with you. I'd be like, look, it's the CEO of Smartmatic. Point at you.
Well, my buddy told me that. He goes, why? Because I said to him, my colleague, and I said, why is this so familiar? He goes, dude, he's a car guy, right? This guy knows every car, and he goes, Lambos, Bentleys. And I'm like, oh, yeah. They're always flying in and out of that parking lot. There's like it's like a whole bunch of nice cars going in and out of that parking lot. I was like, okay, nice. Now I know. Because I've stopped a couple of times and I'm like, whoa, that's a nice looking ride.
Yeah, so now that you took us off course a little bit.
I thought I would. I was really gonna. I wanted to see if that was impressive to Wen Mullet to see if he would really.
Impressed.
If he thought
so
here's
something interesting that came up. I just saw it today. It was posted today. Maybe someone else heard about it, but it said Google is entering the digital banking era, and they're launching a new Plex service. They're getting into banking, so they teamed up with Citi to roll out this new Plex service, which offers online checking and savings accounts housed within Google's Pay newly revamped digital wallet platform.
Whoa.
Now, that's just a starting point. Doesn't say anything about digital assets. Talking about a digital wallet. Google, what do you think the next step?
That's interesting. When does Amazon come out with one? And when does Facebook come out with one?
Hey, can you drop that link in the chat? I'd like to pull it up real quick. Or you can pull it up on the screen. Pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, you know what? Let me pull it up here.
Pull it up, we'll go full screen on that.
Good.
This is wait, I want to get this comment first. Hey, can I have somebody explain to me why the coins are dropping now? And what will happen next? That's called cryptocurrency. Yes. That's called the crypto market. Welcome to 2020.
Welcome.
And that's what I can tell you so far. That's all I know.
Welcome to our crypto life.
Yeah, welcome to our crypto life.
No rhyme, no reason.
Yeah, right. It's because I just bought some. That's why.
Thank you very much.
Well, I have a better reason. I blame you, Alex, because you're like, when you called and you said like, hey man, let's go live tonight. I was like, and then as soon as I titled it Moon Edition,
boom.
So you guys can blame Alex. No, I mean, it's just
no. You know what it was? We had an off-topic conversation on Twitter, and as long as we were going through and debating and arguing in Twitter, XRP kept going up, and then all of a sudden we changed the topic, and I think it was our fault.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's just called crypto, man. Look, there's gonna be a little retrace there, and then the other thing to keep in mind.
People are selling for profits.
Yeah, people are
going to take profits. It's going to happen.
Dude,
it happens with everything.
Let's suppose you own 1 million XRP and it goes up to 0.49 and then you sell at 0.49, you write it down to 0.44. and then you buy in again, and then you go do it again. I mean, you're going to
What
make
did you buy it at originally?
What's that?
What'd you buy the million at?
Well, I don't have $1 million. I'm saying suppose you do.
No, I know, but in this hypothetical scenario, you
matter,
bought $1 million.
No, it doesn't
Because
matter.
I'm selling at 49, but what did I buy it? Am I happy with my profit margin?
Well, no, because you're going to buy it at 44.
You're probably selling to drop the market, and then
you sell right. It goes retrace, and then you buy in. And I'm just saying, it's the point of it is that there's a lot of people that play that game. Like for example, Baba Cugs does that all the time, where he'll. I mean, he's got pretty big bags, but what he'll do is he'll buy it. He sees it coming back down. He sells it, comes in, rebuys. Next thing you know, you might pick up thousands of XRP that way. So I'm not saying I see that's not a game that I can play, because it's like when hey, let's do a live stream. We'll call it Moon, and then
it drops,
and then it drops, and then it drops, right, Alex?
Yeah,
right.
It's fine. How bad is this drop? What's going on in the market right now? What does CoinMarketCap say?
Are we 0.44? It's not.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's a small retrace, and now it's at 0.43. I shouldn't have said anything.
0.43. Way to go, Jeff. You just blew it. I'm on CoinGecko.
It's like, yeah, me too. The gecko.
The gecko. I don't trust that CoinMarketCap, man.
Trading.
Which one?
How about Ethereum at 545?
That's nice.
I mean, that's crazy, right?
And look at Link.
I bought more Ethereum when it was at $1.99.
Link's had a pretty nice rise too. It's up 18%. It's at 14 something change.
So this
What's
is
that? Which one?
Chainlink.
What is that?
Link. It's this is the one. I know some people really made a killing on this. Some people bought it at 0.00 something. It went up as high as I believe as 18. But I'm still amazed by Bitcoin Cash. I got to tell you that I am. I'm just surprised.
Bitcoin.
I mean, I thought and Polkadot's doing well too. And I still think Polkadot has some legs. I think it's going to go up. It's going to do pretty well.
There you go. Whoops. That's Ethereum.
Well, I just bought some more.
There you go.
Damn, look at Alex. He's buying right on the fly right there.
Wait, you're buying while we're talking?
Yeah, I just bought some more. My
Buying
wife
on the fly. Nice, man.
What'd you buy, XRP?
Yep.
He FOMO'd in. He FOMO'd.
Look at that. Got a dollar cost average on the way down. Look at that graph, though. Look at that. I love that. We haven't seen that for a long time.
No, we haven't seen that in a long time, dude.
Look at this graph. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Whoop. It's a little crazy.
Going up.
Oh, that's 24-hour. Let's look at the 7-day. Look at that. Look at that 7-day. Look at this where it's been so consistent.
What was the lowest point of that 7-day, Jeff?
Around the 15.
There. Yep. 26. Let's go to a 30-day. Wow. It's been hovering there. That's our comfort zone right there. That 23 to 25. I think everyone's really happy there and comfortable.
Yeah.
We're not emotionally high. We're not emotionally low. Everyone just kind of like, yeah, that's XRP. It's the best stable coin ever. And then it gets over here and you're like, oh my God, 31 cents.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Hey, Alex, this message is for you if you want to read that.
What does it say? Love the Twitter, live Twitter when you were in an airport. Oh yeah, I used to when the world was the world and you could be free. I used to go around the airports and just go on live and start asking people, do they know what XRP is or do they know what Bitcoin is? And I got to be careful with walking up to some people sometimes. I'm 6'3" and 200 something pounds, so they get kind of intimidated.
And you're live streaming at the same time, hey, dude. That might be even more intimidating. It's hey, by the way, look in the camera, pal.
Yeah, get here, bro.
Where's my Bitcoin?
Yeah, but I think this is just a small correction, man. It's.
Here, check this out again. Look at this. How do I get it back up there? Here we go. Look at this. Hang on. Look at that. Look at that graph. See that graph? That's kind of crazy, right? I mean, that's that height right there. That was the peak, right? That's when we hit that peak, and then it's been downhill ever since. But look at this little minor blip over here in the grander scheme of things from when it was at the all-time high. But it's exciting. Look at that. Down here is volume. Look at the volume. Look at that. Boom.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? I mean, that just spiked up.
It's a lot of volume.
That's good.
That volume surpassed the FOMO 2017, 2018.
Yeah, look at that.
I wonder where that volume came from.
Big volume. That's huge. That's amazing.
What's the source of that volume? That's my real question. Is where did it come from? Like,
Well, it could be some institutional in there too. You know, I mean, I don't think a lot of, companies, something Jeff and I were talking about earlier, when, some of these companies that bought Bitcoin at 10,000, 12,000, big positions, what did they know? I mean, how did they know that you were to take such a chance or take 1% of your balance sheet and throw it into Bitcoin? And, it's like, so if you buy into 10,000, next thing you know, you put $1 billion in there. And next thing you know, man, you're up a pretty damn, and then you look like a genius, but you could either be the GOAT, greatest of all time, or you could be a real GOAT, like, that somebody would kick and, that kind of GOAT. So, I mean, there's all kinds of GOATs in this world, man. You only want to be the greatest of all time. It's like, wow, and everybody followed suit. All of a sudden you started seeing this, I know a couple weeks ago we put on a chart that showed all of these companies that just bought in, man. They were all like, this sounds like a good idea. You see, it took one company, and not only that, but a lot of people got some good press off it. Sirdan's here. Sirdan's coming in. Sir John is here. He's in.
All right, so check this one out. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but MicroStrategy bought Bitcoin back on September 14th. So right around that time frame. So if we go back to September. Oh, I can't. Where'd my historical graph go? I just lost the historical graph that I had up here. Here's the historical data. Hang on. We could just get an idea of what some of these big institutions, what they're getting into, as they're, hang on a second. Let me move back 90 days. Here we go. See if I can get back to September 14th. Here we go. It was 10,300 as a low. They bought, where'd it go? Here we go. September 14th, they bought 16,796 additional Bitcoin. They bought it for 175 million. Then to date, at that point, they'd purchased a total of 38,000 for a total of $425 million worth of Bitcoin. That's massive. So we're talking about in a short period of time, but that's when it was around the $10,000 mark. So think about what that means for MicroStrategy to go from 10,000 invested 425 million to where Bitcoin is sitting today, which is what is it at right this second? What is it? 18,600. Yeah. Yep. So imagine that. I mean, what is that? The overall, it's unbelievable. Chip and I were talking about that. Do you imagine you're on the board or you're an investor in MicroStrategy and they just came to you and said, hey, by the way, we just created an influx of, almost doubling what his investment was. He's sitting there now, close to $850 million, worth of Bitcoin. And that's kind of their cash base, so, and that's crazy. Was that a cash reserve? I don't know. So here's the question, something like that. As these institutions get in, what is up, Ripple Rich? We appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot.
Appreciate that a lot. Man.
So imagine now these guys are getting in the MicroStrategies. Could it be that there's a little bit of institutional FOMO that's coming into the market, pushing the pricing up? And is it possible, I'm not saying it's going to happen, that next week or Monday or whatever, all of a sudden they start pulling profits, big profits out of that? I mean, you put your 425 in, it would stand to reason he might want to get his 425 back, and then just play with house money the rest of the time.
Not a bad strategy, really.
We don't know what they know. We don't know if they know that Bitcoin is going to go to 30,000 or 300,000 or 50,000.
Exactly.
So I mean, how we started is, what do they know? Like, why to spend $100 on XRP? I'm like, do I need to eat or more XRP? I usually give more XRP, but they're spending 425 million, man. Like, that's, you got to know some serious information to do that.
Yeah, what did they know? That's the whole thing. Did they know something? Interesting.
And how much further? So, some of these other institutions, then there was the second wealthiest today, I was covering it. The second wealthiest guy over in Mexico just put 10% of his portfolio into Bitcoin, of his liquid cash into Bitcoin.
Wow. What does he know?
Exactly. So a lot of these guys, I think they're hedging their bet against, being in fiat, being in other investments, and they feel that Bitcoin right now is the safest place for their money. But he's not alone. So that means there's others that are doing the same thing. And the way I look at it, you're going to have more and more. And there was another article I read that we talked about earlier this morning, that by 2022, the majority of millionaires are going to be invested in Bitcoin. And they're going to FOMO into Bitcoin. But are they just going to FOMO into Bitcoin, or they're FOMOing into the entire space?
Well, even let's say they don't FOMO into Bitcoin, right? They don't FOMO into altcoins. Just they just buy Bitcoin. There's people like myself and like you guys who we purchased Bitcoin a while ago, and we they FOMO in, they drive the price up. We sell our Bitcoins, and where do we go with our Bitcoins? To altcoins, so we can kind of drive our own altcoins up with the gains that we get from our Bitcoin sales. So I think the ecosystem will kind of take care of itself. Initially, we'll have, the laggards and the coins that just really won't make it and they'll fall off. But then by 2022, I think it'll be a completely different space. With the amount of coins you see on a site like CoinMarketCap, maybe CoinMarketCap won't even exist by then. And it'll be something else that we got to go through a standard somewhere, government saying that, hey, this is the price of this coin today or something like that,
Yeah. What do you think, Chip?
Man. Yeah, man. I'm still trying to look for this one chart because I wanted to pull it up. I'm pretty sure it's Barry Silbert from Grayscale that tweeted it. But sometimes you use the search tools on Twitter and it's really good. I've seen a lot of stuff. The thing is, he tweets a lot. But anyway, I knew exactly what it was. It was like he said, "We are the sun," and he was showing basically the size of their portfolio versus all the other institutional people in there, which I thought was pretty cool. But I don't know. I'll pull it up here. I'm just still looking for it because it was a really cool chart. These are the kind of things you wish you save at some point,
Is that the Bitcoin bull?
Oh, I found it. Yes.
Is that the bull?
You gonna put it up? Is it a good one?
It's a good one.
Is it something interesting? All right.
Hell, yeah, man. I'm not gonna play. I mean, it's a good one. Share screen. Let's see. Let's do this. Yeah, this is a killer chart, man. Look at there it is. Boom. So let me.
Whoa, that's awesome. What is that?
So what this shows you this shows you not only Square in 2020. There's 10 other public companies that invested in Bitcoin, a total of over 6 billion, the equivalent to 600,000 BTC. Wow. I'm glad he retweeted this because his original tweet said, "We are the sun." So because this is Grayscale, look at Grayscale. He goes, "We're the sun. If these are planets, So I mean, Barry Silbert's got a good sense of humor. Look, check it out: Argo, Digital X, Cyberpunk, Hut, Riot, Galaxy Digital. There's Square. Square put a whole crap ton of it.
Yeah,
look
they
at
just
the
got
dates.
in.
That's
There's
a
Micro.
brilliant chart here. Look at this. Started off in September of 20. This is all from in 2020.
No, there's one.
Well, there's one for the 2019. Yeah, there's one. Good eye.
Is this their buy-in at this point? Or is this is their total holding
This is
of
Bitcoin holding in publicly traded companies.
So it's interesting. So it says here, what does that say? August and September. Okay, so their first buying was August.
Yeah, and then anyone
August was just what we covered. 38,000. But Grayscale sitting on 449,000.
Yeah, that's their. And look at this right here. Look at CoinShares, man. 69,000. Holy cow, man.
Yeah, that'd be nice to have that holding.
It's pretty nice. It's a cool chart, man.
And how much was that pizza purchased for? Was it like 10,000?
No, man. That pizza was like, I want to say it was like 80,000 or something like that.
Wow.
Most expensive pizza on the face of the earth.
They interviewed that guy.
You ate that much Bitcoin. Well, I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, like, again, at the time, the fact that it was the first real use case you could prove you could actually use a digital asset to purchase a real world thing. And that pizza guy sold his pizza parlor, and he no one knows where he is right now.
Well,
Wait,
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, right
I'm
there.
sure.
It was 10,000 BTC. There it is.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a heck of a lot more than 10,000 BTC. And he
I don't
still
know,
had his.
man. You let 10,000 BTC go at $20.
He got 2 pizzas. So there you go. That was a pretty good deal.
I mean, did they at least have pepperoni on them?
I wouldn't count on it, man. $20. Holy cannoli, man.
Christ, man.
So anyway, that's a cool looking chart right there, boys. I'm gonna save that image to my computer because I'm gonna be looking around for it again.
That was a nice chart. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Keep that one active.
We're dropping, people. We're dropping. Now the world is falling apart.
No, don't worry, man. We're gonna be cool. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be good. We're good.
All right, let's see. Look at that. Red, red, red.
Oh, let me check.
Red, red. Ha.
I just go to sleep, man. I'm just gonna go to sleep early today.
You and your
We're still sitting there. It's at 42 cents. I mean, I can't believe it. Here's the big one. Anybody that's cannoli's not included.
Dude, you didn't even get a cannoli? Man.
No free cannoli. I would have been like, dude, I just spent 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas.
That was like an extra
At least give me a cannoli. Come on.
Dude, I'm getting hungry all of a sudden.
Man,
Cannoli sounds really good.
Man, for anybody that's brand new to this space, and I'm sure there could be, quite a few on with us tonight that are relatively new.
Mm-hmm.
The crypto market is crazy.
Yeah.
There's ups and downs. But the one thing that I learned, whether it was here or even in the stock market, is that you can never really guess the market.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times, you go with the emotional buy-in, and that's the danger of the FOMO. That's the danger of the FUD, where you're following whatever, just speculation of movement. And so now it's like, oh, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Maybe I should sell, and then you don't sell. So is it, you have to make that decision. You're either in for the long-term gain and you're going to hold, and that's it, or you're going to trade. But if you're going to trade and buy and sell, then you at least have to go in there with some sort of a strategy and expect that the deck's stacked against you, I would think, because I tried trading digital asset in the beginning back in 2017, but it was kind of a different world. I felt like, you couldn't lose.
Did you sing that song? A whole new world. No,
but it was stressful. Just like I was trading stock was stressful, until you take the emotion out of it and just go strictly based on a spreadsheet.
But if you're for long-term hold, right? It's like, okay, this is just play money at this moment, right? If you're going to really sell it, you're going to buy the spread and all that. You're going to kind of like see the difference. Oh, 41.90. There you go. Asia's waking up.
Asia's awake. Crazy. So what is it? It's 9. It's probably like 9 a.m. over there right now.
Yeah.
In parts of Asia, 8, 7, 8, 9, depending on where you are. So so there's going to be a lot of movement there on a Sunday. That's true.
It's a good idea. You're right. They're going to wake up, start buying. I think that's what DNI is doing over in Thailand. He wakes up and boom, he started FOMOing like crazy.
He's over there.
Weird,
buying.
like now you're excited about buying at 41. Like now you are. It's a week and a half ago. You're like, oh, get past 24. This thing sucks. It's like, and now we're like 41. You're like, you just get the phone.
Yeah, that's me, man.
I almost hit 50 now. 41. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start seeing those YouTube videos coming out again. You're never going to see this price ever again.
Yeah,
right. It's going to the moon.
Last time you can buy it at this price.
Last time at this price.
So,
even though you might see 24 cents again at some time in the future, but.
Hey, this is completely unrelated, like most of the things I bring up, but I did hear this today. Like, so, what is the greatest? I was listening to like Sirius XM earlier, and it's great because I'm gonna put this on a tweet later. I just never did it, but what is the greatest? We'll start with Alex. What is the greatest weirdest compliment you ever received? Like if something, it was a compliment, but it was really a weird sort of a compliment. Like what was the coolest one that you got?
Man, I was in the airport in Amman, I think it was Amman. I was going from Amman to Paris, to Charles de Gaulle, and some little kid walks up to me. He goes, mind you, I have my really long dreadlocks. He goes, I don't know what he said to me. He was just like, here touch hair? And he's like, well, you want to touch my hair because he's never seen it before. That was kind of weird. And he was like, thumbs up, thumbs up. Really cool.
That's awesome.
I'm like looking around, and like his parents are like, no. I'm like, it's okay. He's like, oh, he's like telling his mom he's trying to curl his hair to get it dreads. I'm like, this was weird, but okay,
Holy.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's kind of weird. The kid wanted dreadlocks after that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That kid's he's got dreads down to his ass.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? What's the coolest weird comment you got?
Oh man, there are a few times, just having, doing crazy stuff. I was in Ireland one time with a buddy of mine. We were flying back from Germany, so we stopped over there for a couple of days. And man, just random, we decided that we were going to go check out the Glendalough Mountains in the Wicklow area. And so we end up hiking crazy. And then there was this pub that we were told to go see on the flight over. So we finally head over there. Just crazy story. But this guy comes stumbling out of this pub, right? We asked him, we're like, where's this other pub? We told him, we heard they have the best fish and chips. And he's like, forget that. You guys don't need fish and chips. You guys need a pint of Guinness. You're coming with me. And he just stumbled out. So we're just like random. So we went with him, and we end up in this other pub, around, we never would have found on our own. And we end up in there drinking. The owner of the pub was there, and it was like spent the rest of the night. That was a blast. But but there's all sorts of like crazy stories like that happen anywhere you go in the world. Yeah. But it's funny though. I was traveling. We're flying from maybe we might have been going from Chennai to Mumbai, or Mumbai to Ahmedabad. I don't remember where we were going in India. And so all these people kept looking at me, right? And this guy that I was traveling with, he was like 6'4", pretty big. And so, he looked, together, I guess we looked like we were somehow, coaches of something, and so everyone kept looking at me. I don't know.
Coaches of something, dude.
Coaches of,
so, I guess. Coach of something. Are you motivational coaches, speakers?
It's motivational. But so everyone kept pointing at me. So finally someone comes over to me, right? And he asked me, he goes, "You're so-and-so, right?" I'm like, no. He goes, "Oh, yeah, that's right. You're not so-and-so, right?" And then he goes back and tells everyone, nods to the guys that it is, that I am who he thinks. So then he wants to take a picture with me. I'm like, all right, great. We'll take a picture. Right? And then finally it turned out there was a big cricket match going on wherever we were. And there was this one team I don't know where they were, I have no idea, but supposedly the coach of the cricket team looked exactly like me, and so I get on the plane and everyone kept talking about me. I'm like, this is really bizarre.
Dude, that's weird. Well, what's weird during that exchange between you and Alex? I thought about 6 stories, man. I was like, oh God, which one? Things I totally forgot about, but you're talking about that. So one time I was in Key West, and this lady, she goes, this girl comes up, she goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I was like, hello. It was weird. I was with my wife, and I was like, this is awkward. And she comes up to me and she goes, oh my God, you're Jeff Healey. And Jeff Healey is a blind musician that he had passed away. By the time she's coming up to me telling me I look like Jeff Healey, right? She goes, you're Jeff Healey. And I'm like, thanks for the compliment. I've gotten that a couple times, especially when I used to live in Michigan. But I go, no, I'm not Jeff Healey. Oh my God, you're Jeff Healey. And I said, Jeff Healey passed away. And she's like, oh, she was like, she didn't know. And like, I pulled it up on my phone. Like, so I burst in her bubble twice. I'm not Jeff Healey. Oh, by the way, he's dead. And it was like one of these. And then there was another time when I was in Amsterdam, and I was hanging out with a Russian buddy of mine. And he goes, hey, we're gonna go hang out with my buddies tonight drinking. We're gonna go to this. They own this bar, Russian bar or whatever. It was closing up, and it was late. It was around 11:30 or something like that. He goes, yeah, we're going to go out. We're going to go hang out. So I go up there, and I'll speak in Russian. And he goes, I go, what are we doing now? What are they saying? He goes, oh, now we're going to do just a little drink before we head out the door. I'm like, oh, yeah? Okay, cool. And they put, like, these glasses. He goes, we're going to do some shots of vodka. And I was like, that's cool. Dude, I've never seen a shot glass that was this big and this big around. Okay, it was like that big around. It was like these little tiny... The little tiny, but they weren't. But they were. The wide, you know. It's like
right,
so,
but they're tall, right? That's how.
they're
If you go to a
tall.
Russian place, then they put the carafe of vodka on the table, and then you're just drinking vodka out of glasses.
So I thought, I go, yeah, we'll do a couple shots before we go. Nope, they go blip, 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 blip. They fill it right up, and they go, you ready? And they cheer, you know, and they go like this, and they drank it. And this is like where the weird compliment comes from. So it's like we drank it, slam it down, and they said some shit in Russian, and we did 3 of those bad boys, and they go, you can drink. And he was telling me something. They were all pointing and laughing at me. I'm like, what are they laughing at? I mean, are they laughing at me? He goes, they said, wow, you can drink pretty good for an American guy, non-Russian. They asked me if I was Russian. Are you Russian? No. But I was like, after that, I was going down. I don't know if you've ever seen the stairs in the Netherlands. They built them on an angle. It's like almost like a straight up and down, almost like a ladder. And they don't have, like, my feet are big. I got 14. I wear a size 14. And I'm like stumbling down the freaking stairs, man. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good thing, but you know, traveling's good too. One time Alex, you'd mentioned Paris. I was in Paris. I took the channel there. I backpacked it. I just like a 3-day thing. I just went down there by myself because I was gonna head back up to the UK, and I was there, and I started drinking with the guy at the bar, and we're laughing. He spoke really good English, and then he says to me, he goes, "You know what? You're the only American I ever met that I liked." I was like, "Okay, thank you." I was like, "Thank you," but he was pretty hammered at that point too. So who knows?
That's
I felt
funny.
like maybe I better get the hell out of here. I don't know.
Oh man, Mexico. I was in. I was down
when
in.
Mullen says I'm on a roll. 5 minutes.
You're on a roll. Okay, so one more.
You're being timed right now. I want to let you know when Mullet is timing you. So
Mexico.
Careful, Jeff.
I was in Monterey. We're in Monterey, and we're at the really cool local place. It was nice, and one of the guys that we were with, that we were working with, said, "You know what? I got to bring you guys to an American style bar." We're like, no, we don't need that, you know. Yeah. But all right, somehow he convinced us that that's what we're gonna do. So we all pile into cars and whatnot, driving forever. We finally get to this place, go to get out, and like, no, you can't get out yet. I'm like, what do you mean we can't get out of the cars yet? I'm like, hang on, you gotta wait. So I swear to God, there must have been like 6 or 8 bodyguards came down, right, and they blocked off everybody that was there, so we could go upstairs and go in. And they blocked off all the entrances, any access to where we're walking. So we walk inside, get in, and then same thing. Bodyguards block it off. There was a velvet rope area. They had us sit there. You couldn't leave that area without bodyguards, right? So you go to the bathroom, 2 bodyguards go with you, one in front, one in behind, you know, and they bring you to the bathroom. They go and clear it out, make sure no one's in there. Go in, one guy stands inside, one guy stands outside. I'm like, where the hell did we just come to? You know, and then at one point something happened. Won't get into all the details, but all of a sudden they're like,
who are you hanging out again?
They're like, we got to get out of here, right? And they said, all right, we're going, but we got to go through the kitchen. Swear to God. So the bodyguards go into the kitchen, and we all go into the kitchen, through the thing. It's like a movie, down the back stairs. You know, they had taxis waiting and like blocking out. Oh God, never again. That was too insane.
Dude,
but
were you hanging out in with the mafia, dude? What was this?
We were in
cartel or something, bro.
It was a little.
He's like, "This is cool. We go through the kitchen. It's good."
Yeah, it's right.
The kitchen's the normal way out. It was.
Alex, ever happened
crazy.
to you? You just like hang out with a bunch of like gangsters one night and you just start going through a kitchen and the back door. I mean, I can be honest with you, dude. I mean, those Russian guys scared the daylights out of me with their drinking.
You've never had to go out the kitchen when you were hanging out with the Russian?
But I was in Montenegro one time, and we went to, it was another, because that's like the Russian, like you know, this little town we were in, that Russians bought up all like the stuff, and we were in and next thing I know, I see something what you're talking about. A bunch of people roll in, look, got coats, I see that they're packing. I'm like, this is getting weird, man. I'm not feeling so good about this. And my buddy runs up to him, my buddy who you know, he runs up to him and he's like, hey, of course he's pretty lit. He's like, hey, what are you doing? What's up? He starts hugging them all. And I'm seeing the guy's not digging the whole hug thing. He's like backing off. And I'm like, oh man, are we going to get out of this place? But no, I've never gone through the kitchen, Jeff. That's pretty
never
cool.
gone through the kitchen, man.
No,
that's it. Really, it's not an experience you want to have to relive.
James
Check this out. Korea. Look at Korea just blowing it away right here in the U.S.
Dude.
Look at it. Look at this. Traded in the past minute.
Wow.
Look at this shit.
Unreal. I got caught up in Amman and Jordan one time. It was like at 3 or 4 in the morning, and I had a flight in like a couple hours, and we were at this place and we weren't supposed to be there, so they had to like kind of sneak us out. And they're like, "Yo,
what do you mean? Wait! Hang on a second! Don't just drop on we weren't supposed to be there, and that's just like it's no big deal." He's like, we weren't supposed to be there. Can you like back up a little bit there?
Any of that alcohol with us? And yeah,
bad boy, bad.
I was I go through the airport and they're like, "Hey, do you have any alcohol on you?" Or I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I have a lot of alcohol." They're like, "Where?" I was like, "Right here." Next thing I know, I'm like being escorted onto the flight and being told to sit in my seat for the whole flight and not get up with people sitting next to me. But it was all right.
Yeah, Venture wanted to know if this was live. No, it's not live, Venture.
Not live.
Nope.
It's totally pre-recorded, so it's not.
It's pre-recorded. But Venture's going to join in tomorrow, and the price is going to drop to 40 to 41, guys.
Sweet.
Yeah, come on, Venture.
I just can't believe the movement here. Look at that, though. It's sitting there at 43. It's not going anywhere.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's good. There. But look at it. Now it's getting crazy. Look at it. It's coming everywhere. Look at that. Boom. You got some other stuff going on in Europe now. They're waking up.
I love that when someone goes, I get bummed out, and is like, no, dude, Asia's waking up. I'm like, yes, they are. And they're like foaming
they're right there.
Into it.
Japan, Korea. Korea's just going like nonstop ballistic, and so is Japan.
It's good to see. That is a cool thing that they put together, man. You can get mesmerized watching that sucker.
It's amazing.
It's pretty
now
cool,
let's look at the...
My wife watches it. That's what my wife... I'm like, what are you looking at? She's like, Fiat Leak is going crazy. I'm like, huh? What are you...
Fiat Leak. I love it. It is a great name, too, Fiat Leak. Some clever people in the world.
I'm interested.
I hear her sometimes. She's like, what is going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, Fiat Leak. I'm like, I don't know.
Fiat
Look at that. Whoa.
What is that? What the hell?
That's Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That's a lot of people buying into Bitcoin, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
What is this? Bitcoin. When it goes big like that, is that a whale? A whole bunch of little ones then. Exactly. Boom.
It's a Bertha.
Wow.
Look at this. Look how you can't even... That's crazy.
Yeah. But so this is interesting. Look at all the people... Well, look at all the countries on this that are buying Bitcoin. And I'll go back to XRP and look how much more countries are buying XRP than Bitcoin.
Ooh, astute observation.
Look at that. Like, isn't that interesting? Like, all right, I guess give it a minute or two, let it,
Yeah. Work. Hey, well, but by the way, somebody's knocking on the door, Jeff. I'm wondering if we should let them in. As soon as the video gets situated, we'll get your video situated, and I see we got someone in the green room right now. It's going to come in and pop in a second. So once that gets worked
we can watch this Fiat League. I want to do live streams of the Fiat League and just watch it all day.
Well, didn't Alex Cobb used to do that? Didn't he used to live stream the Fiat League? It's a pretty cool idea, man. You're sitting there watching this video, and if you got a Coil account, you're streaming stuff. By the way, I always think everybody has a Coil account and comes and watch, because our videos are set up for Coil. And Jeff, I mean, we've gone, I think, hundreds of. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and 1 second. Here.
I'm interested. XLM has dropped. XLM was hovering at that 8-cent mark for a long time. Yeah. Alex, what do you think about XLM?
So I think XLM is gonna be, the Robin to Batman to XRP's Batman.
Robin to Batman. I love it. By the way, I'm Batman. Did you know that?
Like, I love me some XLM, man. I got a bunch of it. It's made a lot of money. I love it. I'd see the use case for it. It's XRP's little brother.
Oh, wait a second. Hang on a second. Ding dong. Who is it? Oh, check it out.
Hear you guys, though.
Hello.
It's the Digital Nomad Investor. What's up, DNI? He doesn't hear us, but that's okay. We hear you. We hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
DNI. XLM was with the IMF.
You got me on there, but I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't.
Set up your
let's see.
just set up your microphone. Microphone
No, his
check.
microphone's cool. He just doesn't have his headphones.
Microphone check.
Sorry, man.
All right, well,
Just
we'll
follow.
get it sorted out. We'll get it fixed. Edit mic settings. Oh no, we can hear him. He can't hear us.
That's right. You can't hear us.
No,
So
I can.
you can't
Can you
now?
hear us? Can
Yeah,
you hear us?
audio check 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Can you hear
Nice.
us, boss?
Yeah, I can
What
hear you
is
guys.
up, DNI?
Look at
Holy
this. This
cow.
is cool, man. Thank you for popping
Man,
in,
to
dude.
what do
I
we
gotta
owe
throw
this
some
amazing
light on
honor?
Oh, geez. I got my Johnny Cash shirt on just for Chip.
Dude, you are
Let's
the
see.
man, bro. Hang on a
Let's
second.
see that
Let's
Johnny
hang on
Cash.
a second.
Oh,
No,
wrong
we-
person.
Wrong
Yeah.
one, dude.
Wrong person. Don't need it. There you
Johnny
go. Look at
Cash,
that.
What's up?
Johnny Cash.
Boom. Just like
Look
that.
at him.
Badass.
Man, look at that. There you go.
He
Nice.
said he was going to wear his Johnny Cash one. I thought he was just messing with me. He put his Johnny Cash on, dude. That's
Sweet.
beautiful, man. You're the man.
That's freaking awesome. Global domination. Is that
By the
what
way,
that
when
says behind
Mullen's
you?
covering his ears and go, Chip, please don't talk about Johnny Cash again. I can't take it. Please don't. I'm not going to. So there. I'm not going to give you the pleasure. So there you are.
Why am I? I've got 2. Okay.
This, he does, XRP Venture. DNI does look young.
He's a kid, man. He's a kid.
Now I can't see the chat. What the hell's going on here? So anyway, what's up, everyone? Sorry,
Oh,
I
dude,
didn't.
whoa, hey.
Did
Hey,
I
this,
interrupt?
by the way, just would you let Venture know it's not live? Just tell him we're recording this.
This is recorded. Yeah, this is yeah. This is
is all
a
pre-recorded.
animatronics hologram.
This is
Adam.
a situation.
That's
Being
exactly what it
pre-recorded
is.
in the future.
Jeff, this is cool. We haven't had 4 on in a long time, man.
Nah, man, it's all we haven't had DNI on in a long time. DNI's just gone like AWOL or something.
Yeah, we don't know where he's gone. He's just disappeared.
I went
into the
dark.
woodwork.
I went dark.
Yeah, he's got some kind of. You're brewing something up, man. You must be joining some cabal over there, or some top secret government project.
If I
or
was to
something.
guess, Chip, I think he's planning global domination.
I
Yeah.
would think something along those lines. Hey, you know what else I'd say? I can't be 100% sure,
But
but
it's magic.
it's magic. Yeah, for sure it's magic. Thank
Magic.
you. I'm pretty sure it's magic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is magic.
XRP.
It's some kind of magic. I don't know what kind of magic it is, but it's some kind of magic.
Let's see.
And by the way,
look at this.
everybody,
Ripple.
everybody, if
I
you're
really
new
thought
here, you
I was assuming it was Bitcoin global
is that a new
domination.
shirt, dude, or is that one looks new in the
It's brand new.
Yeah, they are new. Those 2 are the newest ones.
Wow, nice.
That's actually
link,
purple.
man.
It's supposed to be
Sweet.
purple,
Oh, it
but
looks,
it's
oh yeah, it looks purple. Yeah. What is that? What is that? A cement wall behind you?
A cement
That's
wall.
a backdrop, man. That's a
Oh,
backdrop.
nice. Oh, that's awesome.
It's
It's a different backdrop.
Yeah, dude, it is
like a
different.
$15-$20 backdrop I bought on Lazada, man. Lazada's the
Nice.
Asian version or Thai version of Amazon.
Oh,
Sweet.
Lazada. It's got a cool
Nice.
name. It almost sounds like it's Italian. Italiano. You go to a Lazzato. You know, you get a risotto, you go to a Lazzato. I'm sorry, man. It's
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, man, what's up?
We weren't officially introduced. How's it
Let me
going?
introduce you guys. Alex, this is
Yeah.
Alex. He's an alumni of the show. You guys are too, thank you. Sorry, Alex. I didn't, I thought you guys know each other.
No, I
You-
think we've interacted a few times on Twitter, but I just followed you, man. So it's good to meet you.
Yeah, you
Coining
too.
203.
Thanks for having me.
That's what you might know him as, Coining 203. So
Okay,
that's-
203. Okay.
So, DNI, what's your take on what's going on in the market right now? What's your expert opinion?
I have no clue.
Okay, perfect.
knows,
Anyway,
man?
we'll go to the next one. Alex, how you doing today?
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's. I talked briefly in one of my last live streams about single event catalyst versus multiple event catalyst, and
That's some big words, man.
we've seen and been desensitized for how many years now, it seems, of not getting the reaction we'd like, price action wise, from single event catalyst happening in the Ripple, crypto sphere. So, in terms of price action going up, are we going to have to either look for, I'm kind of borrowing from my crisis team days about single event versus large single event versus multiple versus multiple catalysts.
Those are
or
some huge
multiple
words,
event
man. I gotta.
Yeah, that's
So my point
Chip,
is,
can you
I don't
take out
want
the
to get on a
dictionary?
rant. What's that? I don't
I
want.
was
I don't want
asking
to.
Chip to get the dictionary out.
No, keep going, man. This is cool.
No,
No,
the
go
point.
ahead.
The point is, you know, if I got the floor for a minute, when I worked on the crisis response team, what we responded to was
We're
people
still
that
here.
were
Just put
suicidal
your
or
question in.
homicidal. That was it in LA. That's what we did. And we wouldn't get called if someone was just depressed or whatever. They'd be referred to a clinic or something or a hospital. So anyway, usually what drew people or drove people to such extreme thoughts and behaviors and actions were what I found to be consistent: 3 or more events happening within the same period of time, or one significantly traumatic event happening where it pushed people beyond their coping skills. So anyway, I applied that structure or tried to apply it to, because it became so consistently applicable to crypto when talking about price action. So single catalyst events weren't moving the price of XRP for the longest time. So then you got to start looking at multiple catalyst events, or one significant one significantly large one. Most people would point to the regulation clarity thing, but I'm more cautious and less optimistic about that. I call it the don't fall victim to the Coinbase effect, where everyone thought XRP was going to shoot to the moon when it got listed on Coinbase, and it didn't happen. So I don't know if the buildup got so big and it didn't shoot up the way people wanted it to, so everyone got disappointed, and then the negativity came out. So I think about the regulation clarity. I worry about it in the same way, where people think that, oh, we get clarity in the U.S. and XRP is going to shoot to through the roof, but there's regulation clarity in the other how many countries around the world, and nothing stopping Ripple from growing in these countries from a regulation standpoint. So why is the U.S. given this power to hold back the entire coin or XRP? I don't know if that makes sense or not. So I no longer look to these single catalyst events, I guess is my point, if I had to summarize. I don't look to these single event catalysts to move the price. I'm more looking for multiple catalyst events happening within a short period of time to move the price significantly. And we're not seeing any now.
So DNI, what do you think what do you think the single catalyst is that's moving this price? Is it strictly, Bitcoin is gaining a little momentum? Yeah, we've seen a lot of news around the fact that big buyers have moved in, like we were talking about earlier, MicroStrategy, one of the billionaires over in Mexico, was it Square, one of those guys, there's all these different groups that have recently bought in. Are those the single catalyst or catalyst events, or what are your thoughts? So if you were to differentiate, what's a single versus multiple?
Yeah, I mean, you could say there are multiple. You could say, number one, Bitcoin moving, which has been consistently, I don't want to say proven, but shown that it moves the market. Number two, the events that you just mentioned, and number three, people are also talking about, and this is they're not all the same level, or and number three, the build up to the Flare Spark event, that people could be, and that could be, just a very, very small one, but there's three right there. And
somebody brought that up in the chat earlier about the Spark thing. I think that's a pretty cool.
So I'm not saying those three are what are causing it, because there's no way to prove, then we start looking at the correlation versus causation fallacy issue. So I don't want to ascribe causation to anything. And I don't really even, I kind of stopped trying to figure out what's causing these spikes, because it's such an immature and small market that, it doesn't follow a lot of the typical financial rules or themes that we see in the stock market, because we seem to borrow so much from the stock market metric wise. True. Right? where did we get the TA for crypto? It's borrowed directly from the stock market, which is a mature market, and we're trying to use. That's why I'm not real big on TA in crypto, because you're using TA from you're using a metric from a mature established market on an immature non-established market. So I don't think that the consistency of TA from the stock market is applicable to the crypto market above the level of randomness.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, that's interesting to dwell on that a little bit, because can you look at technical analysis of maybe the FX market, and I don't even know what kind of technical analysis there is, what kind of metrics there are to use if you're trading in the FX market. It's not something I've really gotten into. Do you think is it similar to the stock market? Because I look at it on the digital asset side. If you're going to try to apply stock market TA to it, you're missing the biggest variable, which is the fundamentals of the company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a big part that goes into the RSI and everything else. You have to look at the fundamentals. It's not just about price of the stock. There's all these, so as we look at those factors right now, you take all of that out. All you have strictly is just price, volume, and of buys and sells, total volume and volume of buys and sells, and that's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, support and resistant levels have some applicability, but some of it's self-fulfilling prophecy too.
Yeah.
I mean, setting support and resistance. But again, my big thing is when you start having these TA guys in crypto using if-then statements in their quote unquote, air quotes, analysis, then it invalidates what they're saying. You can't say, if this happens, XRP will go up, but if that happens, XRP will go down. Then that's not a prediction. That's not a really it's an analysis, but it's not helpful. You want a metric that helps you do something. So TA's claim to fame is that it helps you predict what the asset is going to do in the future, and you can gauge your investment accordingly.
I'll explain. Yeah, Alex had something pop up real quick that he said he had to take off real quick, so that's why he left the stream. He didn't drop out. He had to go. It was something he had to do. And can I just interrupt you for one moment here, because I'm going to circle back on this question. This is something from a while ago. Check this out. So someone said offhanded weird sort of a comment. There it is. Someone said that they thought I looked familiar because I look like Batman. So this is what people do to I mean,
talk about.
I was like, what
sidetracking the conversation. See that?
Dude,
see that one mullet?
What in the tarnation? Anyway, go ahead.
Talking about serious stuff. But here's a comment from Wen Mullet. He said, if fundamentals are so important, why does Apple go down? And that's a good point. You see stocks that go up and down and don't seem to fit within any rhyme or reason.
Well, both of those analysis methodologies don't have an exact one-to-one, correlation, meaning if this happens every time, then that happens every time. There's variability. There's so many different factors involved in these metrics that, nothing can happen exactly the same every single time. And, so stocks go up, stocks go down. So, one example I've used about the whole TA thing in crypto that always sticks with me is somebody made these so-called price predictions on XRP without any time frame about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I like the guy too. And we don't hear from him too much anymore, and then XRP did hit one of those price points, and it wasn't all that, I don't want to say it was that different than what the price was at. But anyway, everyone in the space went ape shit crazy. They're all like, holy cow, you're like a prophet. The XRP hit that price point that you said a year and a half ago. And then he came out doing these follow-up videos saying, see, I told you so. It was going to hit this price point, even though he put no time frame on it. And I just see people just losing their mind over this stuff. And, everyone thinks that it can predict the future. And it can't even do that so much in the stock market, let alone in crypto. Crypto's just too new of a space. I mean, we think it's old, and because we've been in it for a while and we've been getting beat up in it for so long, it seems like a lot longer, right? you know, but I mean, I would love for TA to be accurate in crypto. I'd love to be able to sit down and look at a chart and say, hey, this is where it's going to be 100% of the time, or 90% or 70%, you know, but and then when it does, when someone does a chart analysis and it does become, you know, accurate or true, then everyone loses their mind and says, oh my God, that was so true. You were so right. You predicted the future. It's like, yeah, but you didn't talk about the other 4 scenarios they proposed at the same time under the if then statements. You know, if this happens, then that happens. But then you have 2, 3, or 4 outcomes. If you hit it right on one, then that's just guessing. It's a relatively educated guess, but it's a guess, especially when you don't put a time frame on it. Okay, so back to XRP. So I look at those single event catalysts, and you know, it just doesn't seem to make the price move much for XRP. So then we have to start looking at multiple event catalysts.
Yeah. Okay. So just a side note, what do you think of this? So here we are, you know, pricing going up, single event or multiple event. Can this be one of the factors that Berthold here is bringing up? Ripple is also buying XRP in the open market to get liquidity going as part of their new strategy. Is that accurate? Is that something that's happening?
If it's happening, then yeah, that could be one of them too. Again, when I talked about multiple events, usually what I look for are 3 or more. So you can throw their whole new ODL strategy into that mix as well. And, you know, it doesn't, you know, it could not be, you know, the structure or strategy that I just talked about may or may not be accurate here, but it's something to go with.
Okay.
Jeff?
All right. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right.
You know,
it's kind of, you can use baseball if you want to, and say, hey,
yeah,
if you don't hit a home run, you can hit multiple singles.
I love baseball.
You know, within the same inning. No, I'm a hockey guy, so
yeah,
baseball puts me to sleep. But you know, you can just, sorry, my computer. You know, you could look at it that way: single event, a home run, or multiple events, multiple smaller events happening within the same period of time, like multiple singles in the same inning. You both can get a run scored, but different structures.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Is there a, I was gonna say, I like that, but if you're really a hockey guy, is there a hockey analogy that works? I think you could really, you have to go. I mean, you think about football analogies. They talk about throw, you know, a Hail Mary into the end zone, but really what we're talking about, we got first, second, third base, we've got homers, we've got singles. I don't think you can really come up with a wrist shot off the fly pad on the, you know, goalkeeper. I mean, there's really nothing that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, a one-timer, you know, I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't think we can make that work. Sorry,
I'll put that on my homework list to figure out.
Figure that out, because if you're a hockey guy, we better hear some hockey analogies popping up soon. That's all that's all I'm talking
really
about.
Hold me accountable.
Yeah, it's cool to for you to pop into, because it seems like I haven't talked to you in forever. I mean, Jeff and I had John. I don't even know how long ago it was, but it was cool because we bump into each other all over Twitter, which is fun too. You know, it's just not the same though.
Good old Twitter.
Good old Twitter. What a cesspool of filth
Twitter.
And,
yeah, that's another reason why I kind of laid low for a while. I just got social media just got so toxic, man. It would just, I you know, get on and just afterwards regret, like, why the heck did I even just spend an hour on Twitter? That was an hour of my life I can't get back. That I didn't accomplish anything at all.
An hour, man. I lose. I've spent
day.
So much time. You know, the worst thing that Apple ever came up with was once a week it sends you that report and it goes, you spend 10 hours on your phone a day. I'm like, what? I guess every time you like holding it or touching it or whatever, and it's like, and it says your usage time is up, your usage time is down. I'm like, you know what? I signed up for Big Brother on my phone. I'm like, yeah, punch me in the throat, Apple. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, tell me how stupid I am, really. But anyway,
well,
Jeff,
and that's only going to get worse. And as Big Brother, as time goes on, with you know, we were going over that in my last couple streams with we're past IMF and the WEF and the Great Reset and Agenda 2030 and all of that just kind of rolled into one. And they're like, hey, we were able to shut down planet Earth just by sending scripts out to some mainstream media heads imagine what we could do if we really put our mind to it and put some effort into it. And it's insane. Yeah. It's insane what they're trying to do. And they're not, and then again, it's not conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy fact. They brag about this stuff. It's on their website. Someone said to me called me a conspiracy theorist because I believe in Agenda 2030 and the Great Reset, that those exist. I'm like, exist? 30 seconds on Google and you can find these things on there, or just go to the IMF and WEF's websites. They're bragging about it. How can it's the stupidity of people. I'm sorry, but some people just want to ignore what's right in front of them, or maybe because it's right in front of them, they can't believe that it's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think of this? Look at this. Look at the fiat leak here, trending. I mean, it's kind of going crazy right now. We're starting to see the price point rise a little bit up to 44 cents. It's down to 42, 43. But look at this momentum. It seems, I mean, there's a ton going into the US still, but there's a lot going into Asia.
Yeah, let me pull it up in a larger screen here so I can see the countries. Yeah, the US, Korea. We know South Korea's big on crypto.
A lot going into Korea.
Let me get fiat leaks up and running here. I got it going, but now it's not.
So it's just, I mean, it just seems like right now, so much of the momentum, but just pouring into the US. I mean, that's, as you try to read this, but it looks like, here, it's going up. Obviously, when we look at these numbers, up or down, there's always going to be a little bit of a pullback, right? But I'm just amazed. And here's Japan picking up right now too. So obviously, daybreak over there. What time is it by you? Is it 9:30 a.m.?
Yeah, 9:35 a.m. Yeah, Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, so I think people are starting to get going over there. It wasn't, but it's impressive to watch this.
I mean, it's a welcome relief, right? We can't. So. And I'm sure people are saying that 50 cents was a resistance level, and people taking profits between here and 40, 45, or in the 40 to 50 cent range, which is cool. And there being a pullback, and I can get on board with that analysis. Because of the psychology of round numbers, support and resistance levels quite often line up with round numbers. If you believe in the psychology of round numbers, which pretty much exists. Yeah. So you can often see what your support or resistance levels are going to be if you look at the psychology of round numbers or apply it to that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find how I get out of this thing here.
Where'd Chip go?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what happened to Chip.
Probably went on a bathroom break.
Maybe, yeah. But here, check this out. Let me take this off. Hang on a second. Let me put up another one, get some feedback on here. Hang on a second. So this is, Forte. So we've seen, Ripple and Forte, really emphasizing and focusing in on gaming. This just came up. I was reading this the other day, and it's just interesting. So, as you start looking at the possibilities, right? The movement, the trend that everything is moving in. So, how do you, one of the areas that I think that we've really identified overall when we look at the growth in the space, because we want real utility, right? We don't want to just look and say, hey, price movement based on FOMO or who knows what, right? I mean, it's hard to figure out if the price is moving because of something, practical, something substantial. So in this situation, we're seeing, so you start seeing more partnerships. Forte focused in on the gaming industry. Gaming industry, as we know, is one of those places, one of the spaces that can really have a major impact on the digital asset space. If you can get digital assets into the hand of gamers, but it looks like Ripple taking an active role in it. So how do you think that could, is that right now, is that somehow foreshadowing, some of the price movement and I don't know if that would really have an impact on XRP at all, but are we starting to see more positivity? I guess more positivity would bring more focus and more investment in general.
Yeah, building up the space in general obviously is positive. I don't think it's having I mean, I don't know the gaming space real well, to be honest with you, or really at all. But I think if it was having more of an impact now, direct impact, and this is not a negative comment, it's just where it is in the stage of development, we would hear more about it in more of the mainstream crypto reporting spaces, reporting outlets versus just gaming. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt, to have another global vertical that XRP is getting into. And we know Brad Garlinghouse has said straight up that once they get the remittance industry going and get some traction there, they're going to explore other global verticals. And I just saw something recently, maybe someone in the chat can help us out here, where I could have swore I was glancing at one thing and saw another, and then I clicked off it by mistake, where they said something about someone, I don't know if they must be with Ripple, said something about now they're going to start looking at other global verticals like more than they were before. It's always been a plan, but now they're going to, work at it more, or however they said it. I'm drawing a blank on the source. So
Right.
If anyone saw that, or Jeff, if you're aware of that, in other words, moving forward on exploring these other global verticals outside of global remittances versus before just being on the shelf planning. So if anyone knows what the heck I'm talking about in that jumbled mess that I just spewed out, yeah, I don't remember, and it could have been an old quote even. I don't know, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so moving ahead.
Yeah.
So Forte in the gaming space, it helps. I think it'll be great in the future, when it starts getting more adoption in that space. I think, I agree with you that it'll be a big, I think it'll be a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting. I like seeing, the overall direction that things are moving in. But for me, it's all about real world utility. It's not just, the concern, where everyone's excited. We got on, did the live stream, get super excited about the temporary movement, the positive movement, growth in the price point. But the thing is, it could be short lived, if it's not backed by anything substantial, but at the same point, if it's going for a big move, maybe this is the time where it hits new peaks and then has a different pullback. It's going to have to pull back and settle somewhere.
Right.
And so the question is, with Bitcoin, does it keep going? Does it go up to 25? Does it keep going to 30? Or is it going to retrace? And maybe this time, instead of settling back around 10, maybe it pulls back and settles around, 16 to 18. Maybe, XRP pulls back and settles and becomes stable again in where it is right now. Who knows, 45, 50 cents, or maybe 40 cents, maybe 35 cents. But I guess time will tell.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is not so much how far it spikes up, but how the price action reacts to the spike in its pullback and how far down it goes. I think you're onto something there with that. I think will be more indicative of the future price movement, how far the retracement is in reaction to the spike. Because every, cryptos, stock market, cryptos will stay on that. The different projects spike for different reasons, or no real reason that we can see. And so, I think the retracement will be the key here, not so much the spike. The spike's important, and we love seeing it. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but if it doesn't retrace down, below, I don't know, 30 or something, it stays above 30, and if you want to go TA and say it develops a new support level, if support before was like in the 25, 30 cent range for how long, right? And you pulled up that chart earlier, and that showed how the price action was pretty horizontal for a while. So if it finds a new support level, a higher support level, then we may be onto something good,
Yeah. Yep. So
something sustainable.
yeah, exactly. So here we have Sean was saying Brad G said to look at trade finance in the insurance markets.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thanks for bringing
Yep.
that up, Sean and Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Insurance,
interesting.
trade finance and insurance.
Yep.
Okay. So that
And
might have been tied into that comment that I saw part of.
Yep. So, but there's so many different verticals to get into for the digital asset space. We were just talking about earlier in the stream. We are talking about Google, that Google's entering the digital banking space, partnering with Citi. So if Google's moving in that direction, we know Amazon's moving in that direction. Amazon is moving into the healthcare space now. We see Google's actually invested in the healthcare space. They're all kind of looking at, how can they expand their presence in general. But the one area that is still, an unknown for some of these tech companies that I think they're starting to see a possible opportunity of how to get into it is going to be the finance space, the banking space. So they do finance banking and they do, and be able to do it through crypto, is potentially a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Sean put in another comment here. Those are the new verticals according to Brad. Okay. So that sounds like like part of the article or the interview or whatever it was, whatever the source that I stumbled across. So thanks, Sean.
Yep. Yep.
So, them exploring new verticals, I'm not saying that's connected to the price action, but it's definitely something to follow in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. So good stuff. What do you think? Now we're kind of going on an hour and a half, so we'll probably get this wrapped up here shortly. But it's awesome to have you on. But before we let you go, what do you think about the whole Flare project, but focus mostly on the new token drop?
The new token drop. How can I say this? I may participate in it. I'm still waiting to see, what companies are going to get involved in supporting it. Someone brought up something to me. I think I can share this. Let me hold off on that. Someone that I've been communicating with who's got a really good angle on this space, and him and I don't even know if it's him or not, to be honest with you. Bounce back some of the more real technical aspects of XRP and Ripple, what they're doing, and they brought up some issues with the drop. But let me hold. I just put my foot in my mouth. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. I don't have I'm not really super excited about it for some reason. I don't know why. I should be more excited about it. I know a lot of people are. I'm not negative on it by any means. Anything that's developing our space, we support if it's good, and and they want to get into other areas of crypto utility wise. All good stuff. Yeah. All good stuff. I think he was the co-founder and CEO. I was on a show on Crypto Eddie's show when she interviewed him. Real sharp guy, and on the ball from a technical crypto standpoint. So all good there. So I guess I'm just waiting to see it play out more. I mean, but it's a couple weeks away, right? 3 weeks away from the drop.
Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, December 12th. Yeah.
So, I guess I just got to see more about what's going on with it. I guess that's my summary.
I'm excited about the technology aspect of it. The technology is more exciting. I mean, the digital asset will be great, obviously, if it goes up in value, but I'm more excited about the fact that they're rolling out, a platform that can be competitive with and compatible to Ethereum. Smart contracts. I think that you can't have Ethereum as the only one to have true smart contract solutions with. So to have this one, and then it's interoperable with XRP, and then interoperable with other platforms. You know, it's running through the ledger. It's connecting a lot of the important variables from a financial stance that seem to be missing. You know,
Good
so
point. Yeah.
so I like that aspect of it. Yeah, time will tell though on the valuation of the token. That is kind of a you know, a question mark for me. I don't think they even know, you know, what they don't even know what the drop is going to be. They don't know if it's going to be 1-to-1. You know,
Right.
it could be a big surprise. You know, I mean, it's like some of the others. You know, when you look at Bitcoin, how many times it's divided out, you know, into BSV and Bitcoin Cash and this one and that one. There's so many. All of a sudden, you get these drops. You don't even know about it. They just show up on the exchange. This will be the same thing. You know, if you set up your ledger for it, then you'll get it. If you're on an exchange that gets it, then you'll get it, you know? So it's just going to you know, it just really depends which way you're going. It's funny. I just got, what time is it? 9. I just got notification that XRP is now up 10%. Now it's at 45 cents. So always get those notifications. Cool. Up 10, down 10, but just got notified it went up 10%. So that's again the last 50 minutes. So that's good.
I think you kind of hit it on the head. That the future potential use of it is exciting. I guess the short term, the drop and everything else is, you know, I mean, the argument of, you know, how can you complain about or be negative or not excited about something for free, you know, and there is truth to that. So I guess, you know, I'm more excited about a future the way you pointed it out than the you know, the drop, you know, and the hype revolving around that. I'm not negative about any of it. I guess I'm just in a holding pattern on so much in this space. I'm just waiting for things to happen, and I want to see them happen versus hear about them being planned to get excited. I'll get excited.
I think that's a big one. Yeah,
you know, I'm excited when the stuff happens. In the meantime, when I just hear about it being planned, that's great. I'm supportive. You know, I won't say anything negative, but I won't necessarily get excited about it. So I like the way you looked at it in terms of the future of the applicability and utility of it all.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, because, you know, again, any of the growth that we're going to see, it's not going to be short term. It's over the long term. You know, I've seen someone just put a comment in that they just bought in at 34 cents. They're thinking of selling now that it's 44, 45 cents. I mean, that's a personal decision of what to do, you know, but I know a lot of us fell kind of, you know, suspect to that in the beginning, where, again, you're always trying to guess what the next move is going to be, but you'll never know.
Yeah.
You know, you could sell at one point, you know, right now at 45, and then it might not come back down for a little while. You know, maybe it will, maybe it won't, you know, or, you know, you hold and it drops back down to 20 cents and it sits there for a little while. I've been caught that way a couple times.
Yeah.
Just using an emotion. I'm like, oh, I know it's going to keep, you know, or you see the ups and downs. All right, I'm going to buy in and it's going to go, you know, it's going to go up, and then it's going to go, and then I'm going to sell and it's going to go back down. And I'm still holding a token. I bought it at $17 and then it dropped down to like $6, you know, and then I'm just like, oh, now I'm in, you know, I could sell it, take my loss, but I know at some point it's going to go back, you know, maybe not, you know, but you know, so I got out of the whole trading business. To me, it's, you know, my objective and forecast with any of the digital asset space is more longer term, you know, unless, you know, let's say like with Dogecoin, I played around with Dogecoin a little bit. You know, I know there's some trading opportunities, I guess, you know, where you can tell maybe it's a little more short term, you know, you put in, you know, so it's so hard to say, you know, and then you have to be happy with it, right?
Yeah.
You have to be happy with whatever you do. So if you take your, you know, 10-cent gain, then walk away. And if it goes back down, great. If not, you know, you move on to the next one. I don't know. Trading digital assets is so speculative. It's difficult.
Yeah. I think some of the best statements about all of that are people that have said, well, buying XRP, anything for $1 or less is a bargain, or $5 or less is a bargain. And if you're into XRP and you're investing in it and follow, what Ripple's doing, you have to believe that for it to penetrate any of these markets, it's going to have to go up higher than $5 to be successful. And that's not just me saying that. David Schwartz has said it, and the pure math of it all supports that. So if you believe in all of that, buying anything under $1 or under $5 or whatever you think, is works for you, I think is some of the best statements that people have made about it. And if you start getting hung up on, oh, I just bought it at 44 and it dropped down to 40, and getting all, emotional about it, then people will drive themselves crazy in this space. You have to, people talk about dollar cost averaging. Yeah, that applies. But I think in crypto, because of what, exactly what you said, it's so speculative. It is a speculative asset. You have to look at down the road where you think it's going to be. Don't look at where it's at now. When I used to rehab properties, or when I bought them, and they, if they were trashed, I wasn't looking at the property the way it was then when I was buying it. I was looking at what it was going to look like after I got done rehabbing it. That was the value I was placing on that property. And same thing when I was buying real estate during the last real estate crash, and people are like, you're crazy. The real estate's in the dumps. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I'm buying, because I see where it's going to go. And you have to look at crypto in this space, I think, the same way. You got to say, I can't look at where it is today. If I believe in this project, I got to look at where it's going to go and plan, and then walk backwards, deconstruct your strategy investment wise from there. So if I think XRP is going to hit $20, am I going to get upset if I buy it at 44 and it goes down to 40? Well, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought something for 44 that I think is going to be 20, 25. I bought it at 40, 44, 25. Well, what, it doesn't matter. So, that's a different way that I look at it. I always look down the road, like you're saying too. You got to look at the long term, where you think it's going to go, what you think it's going to be. Because if you don't think it's going to go up to whatever, why are you investing unless you're just investing for the short term?
Yeah, then it's short term. Exactly.
And that's okay too. But if you're into the long term, you have a different strategy than the short term. And you just say, hey, I bought it 25 cents. I bought it 30 cents. I bought it 35, 40, 45, whatever. Yeah. If I think it's going to go to 20, then if I think it's going to go to 5, if I think it's going to match its all-time high of 380, I'm still getting it at a bargain. So I think there's something to be said for looking at it that way. And that way you don't get on these emotional roller coasters.
Well, that's okay. You have to take the emotion out of it. That's the one thing I learned in trading, and for me, when I was trading stock, I mapped everything out, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, so I knew every single trade that I made before I placed the trade. I knew exactly how many shares I had to buy. I knew exactly how much money I was going to spend on it. And then I knew I had an idea of what my stop loss was going to be. So I already knew how much money I was willing to lose on it. And I would set my stop loss. I already had my forecast of what my potential gain was going to be on that stock, right? And as you monitor the stock and it went up, I readjusted my stop loss on it, but then once it's in that spreadsheet, that's it. You're not doing anything. Once you put your stop loss in there at a loss and you say, look, I'm willing to take a 5 to 10% loss on that stock, that's it. You don't change it, and then on your upside on the gain, when you already projected it out because you mapped out what the possible potential gain of that stock is based on where it was sitting, you got to wait, until it gets to that point. You don't go emotional, you got to let it go. And then you got to put your trailing stop on it, and that's it. And you got to give it enough room. And I made so many mistakes where you'd go and get emotional in it, and right. It would really impact everything, But in this space, the one lesson that I learned, and it took me years to learn it, my uncle way back when in the beginning, when Microsoft started, he was involved in a lot of things out there, and he was constantly buying Microsoft amongst other things in the early years, and so think about how many times it split, how many times he bought, how many times it split, how many times he bought. Obviously, he did really, really well over the long term with Microsoft, but I had so many conversations with him over the years about my style of investing, which was trading. I was trading stock, and his style, which was long term. I'm like, I don't have the patience for your long term hold. That's so far out there. I want to try to make the money now. But that was a mistake, because when you try to make it now, most of the times it's going to go against you, right? Unless you're doing it 24 hours a day and that's your job, it's at some point it's going to bite you in the ass, But when you go for that long term hold, if it's a solid company, not if you go into like General Motors when it went bankrupt, or if you were invested in Hertz when it went bankrupt, then, now you're trading over the counter. It's a whole different story. But overall, you're looking at that long term. And that's when I got into digital asset. That was my focus as well. I said, you know what? I'm putting this money in, and it's either going to grow and be amazing, and we saw that little bit, because I got in last quarter of 2017. I watched it go up, watched it, max out in the beginning of 2018. I followed it all the way down. Right. I didn't bail out of it. So now I've been sitting on it, but it's interesting because I kept buying when it was down, when we hit the bottom, because my whole strategy and outlook in this space has changed, and I know you have a similar philosophy in terms of where you think the space is going, so we see the writing on the wall. And now even more so as I do, my streams on Saturday mornings, I look at what is happening all over the world, all these different, companies and governments, and everything is moving in a certain trend.
Everything's going digital, and the decision makers globally are telling us this. They're not hiding it. They've been telling us this. How many videos you can see out there covering this topic? And again, you can just look at their websites, and they're announcing it, and they're because they have to, because there's going to be such a monumental change that they have to give us a sales pitch. And what's my favorite word? Incrementally, right? They have to incrementally sell us on these huge changes. They can't just throw a huge change, restructuring the global financial system without preparing us for it, for good, better or worse, good or bad. So, I agree with, I think, we're aligned in the belief that if what they're telling us is true, it's in their best interest for what they're telling us to be true, because we know they want to track, trace, and tax us. So for the bad part of it, that what I just mentioned, we think is going to be true, the digitization of the global financial system. What projects play into that? What projects can be a part of that? And XRP, in one spot or another is, I firmly believe is going to get slotted in there, or one spot or more, because it's the best at what it does. And even if it's not in the ways in which we think, there's somewhere that it's going to be slotted. It's going to be like musical chairs, everything will be shuffled around. And then eventually, when they finally come out and tell us what the restructuring is going to be, maybe in January or later, when they said they're going to discuss the details of it, we'll find out where XRP gets slotted, or, it'll water settles at its natural level, and the best project for moving money is going to settle somewhere.
I agree with that. I think a lot of it's going to be pulled. A lot of it's going to be pulled. The price is going to be based on it being pulled by Bitcoin, by Ethereum. They're moving in a direction. The other part is based on utility and everything you're talking about, the value of the project, the value of the need for the asset, as things change, from a global perspective. I'm seeing, I don't know if you're on yet, but, we're really focused in on, looking at what Bitcoin represents for a lot of countries, so for past couple of weeks, I've focused on Venezuela, focused on Lebanon, Now we're starting to see MoneyGram is exiting Cuba. So the Cubans are looking at Bitcoin, to move money. Bitcoin has become kind of a saving grace for a lot of people in a lot of countries that are in very, unstable places economically speaking, and Bitcoin has become their saving grace. That is all telling. Now, if you're getting more and more investment, we talked about MicroStrategy, how much money they invested, $425 million. That guy made a huge decision, bought around 10,300 and less, and now it's valued at over 18,000. The guy made a huge gain on his money, so that's massive, so if he's looking at like an 80% gain, I mean that's not bad, so so I know his board's looking at him and say, hey, that's a, but the point is though, he went into Bitcoin, and that's the trend. Now, at some point though, whether it's a financial institution or it's individuals in other parts of the world, or it's individuals here and they're putting money in and they're looking and say, well, Bitcoin's at 20,000 now, Bitcoin's at 25,000, Bitcoin's at 30,000. That's awesome. But I can only afford a fraction. Where's my money best placed? And look at all the rest. Or, Ethereum is going crazy. Now this one and that. And so they go into these other projects just based strictly on the price of where Bitcoin is and that movement and the trend, using Bitcoin for what it is, which is a store of value, and that's it. Now and then you inject in what you're talking about, the full utility, now the dynamics, now everything changes. But that, that's kind of my anticipation now, is that Bitcoin is going to keep moving forward. It might pull back, but I just think at this point, based on the financial institutions and companies like MicroStrategy and others putting their money in, and the statements that we're seeing, there's a lot of others that have done that as well. And I think that has a big reason why Bitcoin has gone up in price. We know Bitcoin's is there's a shortage of Bitcoin to begin with. Right? There's not a lot to go around.
Right. Hey, Jeff, at 9:59 here a.m., Crypto Fox's comment, maybe you want to pop that up and we can explore that. He put in something interesting at 9:59. Crypto Fox. Get my mouse back. If I think that might be a good one to explore.
Is that one?
Yeah. Announcement expected concerning XRP-backed loans across the planet through Ripple is why the pump. More pumps in the next few weeks.
What do you think?
Is this tied in with the like the line of credit stuff that they've been talking about, that they've implemented?
I would assume, yeah.
I didn't
line
really
of credit,
check
XRP backed loans. But the interest on it's like, I think it's like 12%, something
really?
like that.
That's not good.
It was a lot higher than what I anticipated it was going to be. I thought, that it was going to be a lot lower. And I'm not sure what their focus is, with these XRP backed loans. Are they, even if it's financial money, I think 12% is high. I think it's got to be, 4, 5, 6%. I don't know what the borrowing rate is for short-term money.
12%. I mean, the SBA, you can get 5, 6%. They shouldn't look to that as being an interest, as a profit revenue stream from the interest. I thought their goal with doing all of that was to, loop in more businesses, increase liquidity, and, help build the whole ecosystem with XRP liquidity. So I'm disappointed to hear that the interest rate is so high for given the goal that they've stated they implemented that project for, that part of it for. They should do something where they compete with the SB, Small Business Administration.
Yeah, so that's something we got to look into more. But yep.
It definitely should not be 12%. I agree with you. It should be, if you really want companies to jump in. I mean, you can lower the interest rate, make it very competitive, and just have a very strict screening process if you want, if you're worried about your risk exposure from bad loans, and trying in having a higher interest rate to cover your risk exposure, lower the interest rate, adjust your risk exposure on the loan qualifying, and you can be covered there. Or even if you take it as a loss and just charge those off as marketing costs and say, hey, we break even, or we have a slight loss on the loan process, but it's accomplishing our goal of liquidity, and then just pull money from your marketing and say, hey, we'll cover our losses with our marketing costs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. There's, I think overall, there's the financial institution side for lending, borrowing, everything. Then there's obviously the retail side, so looking at, the incentive to get into it, whether it's short term, long term. I'm seeing, more development in this space for, the retail lending, retail, paid interest. Looking at platforms like Celsius and what Celsius is able to do with their payouts, and there's a lot of others that are going to pop up in the space. Celsius is relatively unique in the amount they pay out. Has nothing to do. I think XRP is probably focused in a bigger enterprise. Enterprise financial institution versus retail, two different things. But when we look at it from a lending borrowing perspective, I still had a lot of concern in like Celsius and Nexo and all the others that are in the lending aspect to retail, which is causing individuals to take a margin against their digital asset. I know there's a play for it, but I think it puts many people in a very difficult position. There's nothing to do with the XRP thing whatsoever, just kind of thinking through it. But Sean Thompson, if 30-year money is 3%, then short-term money should only be 9% tops. Which is probably the case, in short term. And then we had, Wen Mullet, with a line of credit from Ripple, your financial institution can use XRP to complete instant low-cost cross-border transfer. We allow you to lock in a rate at the time of the payment, then repay us when it's convenient for you for a small fee. Yeah, but there's still got to look into that deeper and look for the interest.
Yeah, like I said, I just hope it's they make it competitive with something like the SBA.
Yeah, and here it's for eligible institutional customers, which we knew. It's not retail. Availability varies based on jurisdiction, subject to change. How do we know? I had read somewhere that it was 12% interest. Well, let's see. Maybe it's, I can't find it right off the bat, but I own several businesses, and we go for short-term corporate loans. It can run anywhere from 10.5 to as much as 68%. What they're doing is a good deal. So I guess it's on the short term.
That's short term.
68%.
The bridge loan interest rates are structured differently than long-term business loans. So I don't know which one you're talking about. This person's talking about.
I don't know. I would like to pull up the Ripple one or the XRP one to look.
Yeah.
And what is the 12%? I don't remember the variable. I just know we looked at it as 12%. I don't know what the term was on it, because it's all short-term loan. It's for a short period of time. Yeah. But still,
because I know I've been looking at different loans too, business loans, and 3 to 5 year loans. I don't know if this person that just posted this failure.
I think this is for liquidity. It's not really, what is a short-term loan? Yeah, short-term is going to be measured in weeks, days, weeks, and months.
Yeah, there's bridge loans.
Not years.
Yeah, bridge loans, which are, those are the short-term loans that are measured in the months, versus, some of your short-term loans, 3 to 5 years or less, and then your longer-term loans. But I mean, there's just so much there to digest right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I just hope it's they make it competitive to build the liquidity.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig more into it. I know we had looked at it for a project, and so I want to go back and I'll review it again. Then we'll bring it up and see exactly where they fall. But anyhow, I gotta run. It's been 2 hours since I've been streaming. Now I'm dying of thirst. Ran out of water.
Hey, I gotta have you and Chip on my stream, by the way. I know some people. My last stream, we talked about doing a roundtable on my stream. I don't think I've really done that, to be honest with you. So you two are gonna have to be you've been so gracious to have me on so many times. So I want to have you two as my my first official roundtable guest.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. I definitely appreciate it. Would love to be on. I don't get notification when you're streaming. I didn't even know you were back streaming.
It's very spread out. Yeah, I'm not back in any regularity schedule wise. Okay. I'm just topic driven if I see something. But with the roundtable, we'll come up with some good topics. I think we won't have a problem with us going off on some stuff.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome, man.
Winging it with the XRP family is what I like to do anyway. So we'll have a couple topics and then just wing it from there and maybe go for a record. My last one I did was over 4 hours, so we'll see how it rolls. So maybe in the next week, I'll touch base with you guys, but maybe in the next week, we'll put that together if you guys.
Okay, yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
Okay, cool.
Definitely love to go on your show and need to get you back on here again as well. Get that rhythm going.
Yeah,
it was a surprise seeing you pop in all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, I always check out whenever I get notification, which I do on you and Chip. I always pop in. I just don't like to, go into comments unless I have something to contribute or some.
Yeah, well, you were on this morning, so.
Yeah, I'm always checking you guys out. So I like to lurk. I like to lurk.
Right, here we go. Mr. B, typical business line of credit costs 10 to 20%, and Ripple line of credit rates start at 4.
Ah, okay, Mr. B.
So if it started 4,
then that's
all right,
good.
So maybe I'll stand corrected. 4 is good.
Yeah,
I like 4. I'd like to look at that more in depth. I'll have to check that out. I know when I was reading the paper on it, maybe if so, that makes more sense. I'm going to read it and then I'll correct it on the next one.
Those are better, much better numbers. Yeah,
I like that better. Yeah. So anyhow, D&I, hey, it was awesome having you on.
Thanks, man.
Just want to say appreciate everybody else that hung in there with us. 2 hours, man, that's crazy. Not close to your 4-hour stream, but 2 hours. Just shout out a couple of people, Mr. B. We got Rob Cash, Darcy B, Sean Thompson, Berserker. Got some newer people on here like Benoit, people that are commenting. Connie is always great in here helping us out on the back end in the chat. And of course, Wen Mullet is over here as well. So, and Michael Atu. So anyhow, D&I, man, it was great seeing you on. And we'll have to catch you on the next one. Let me know when we're going to do yours.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for dropping in and your support, and Jeff and Chip, wherever Chip went, maybe went back to the Bat Cave.
Yeah.
And thanks for inviting me, and we'll collaborate soon.
Awesome. All right. See ya. We're out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.